Hey everybody, how are you doing? Thank you for joining me today on my second video. As you can see, I made a small upgrade. I have a microphone, everything for better sound quality, and some ASMR. The weather today in the Netherlands is very good. It's like 25 degrees, a chill breeze. I made a short walk with my best friend, and I actually took a picture of us together. I sent it to my little nephew, he's 20 years old, and he replied with bodytea. I'm not sure what he meant with that. So let's dive into the topic of today. Notes from Underground by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Personally, I love psychology. I've always been interested in motives, patterns. It just fascinates me. What's the human brain capable of? Where are the boundaries? And how do we view the world? Philosophical themes like existentialism, absurdism, and nihilism also have my interest. Dostoevsky is a big name in the literary world, and he's a pioneer when it comes to existence and raw, unfiltered human consciousness. Up till now, I read Notes from Underground and The Double by Dostoevsky, and I can already tell I'm so in love with the depth, introspective immersions, and provoking themes. It just fills my soul. Now, I would like to share my current collection of books I possess by Dostoevsky. They're all Penguin classics, and the first one is The Idiot. And I'm so in love with this cover. First, I thought my book had scratches, but it's really part of the cover. And I think it's so intriguing and provoking. Really looking forward to read this one. Next up, the Brothers Karamazov. I cannot wait to dive into this one, immerse myself, make annotations. Ooh, calm down. I'm also looking so much forward to read this one. And then on to the next one. Can you guess? You guessed correctly. It's Crime and Punishment. I think I'll read this one soon, so I'll let you guys know my thoughts and view. Cannot wait to dive in all these big works of Dostoevsky. So intriguing. As you can see, I made annotations for Notes from Underground. I didn't use any categorized system, but I usually read the first 50 pages and then I decide if I want to annotate and if I want to use any sort of categorized system. If you guys want to, I can make a separate video where I share my annotating process, the goal, and why I annotate and how. Just let me know in the comments. One thing I really adore about the Penguin Classics editions is the way they're put together. They often start with a biography of the author, and learning about the background often adds more depth into their work. This is definitely the case for Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and also for Dostoevsky. What I also love is that Penguin Classics often include an introduction or sometimes also an additional essay after the novel. And I honestly need closure. Once I finish the book, I love diving deeper into it from an academic perspective. Reading different interpretations of the themes and characters helps me to develop my own understanding. There isn't really a right or wrong interpretation, it's just all about your own experience with the story. Before I read Notes from Underground, I had already heard about it from friends. I saw some people discussing it on Reddit too, and I came across some thumbnails on YouTube with intriguing titles. For example, Dostoevsky's Guide to Destroying Your Life, or Consciousness is a Curse, and Dostoevsky's Darkest Mind. Very intriguing, and it made me so curious about his book. But I deliberately didn't watch any of them because I didn't want it to spoil my experience. A short introduction to the story. What is it about? In Notes from Underground, we follow an unnamed narrator who locked himself up underground. He finds himself extremely intelligent, is hyper-conscious, and overthinks everything. The story itself is split into two parts. The first part is a philosophical monologue about rationalism, and the second part is a narrative showing memories of the narrator. I don't think you need to know anything more than this. It may harm your experience. In my opinion, this book is written as an experience that unfolds and introduces you to different perspectives, so it's best to go in totally blind. What did I learn from Notes from Underground? This isn't a book I love because it was thought-provoking, but it's a book I'll remember because it changed the way I view humanity and rationality. If I reflect on myself for over the past few years, I changed to becoming more rational instead of emotional. But Dostoevsky reminded me that it's important to follow your heart, and even make mistakes. It's part of being human, it's part of our existence. And that was quite eye-opening and also confronting. Now I would like to share two captivating passages that spoke to me. Here comes the first one. Now I'd like to tell you, gentlemen, whether you want to hear it or not, why I didn't even manage to become an insect. When I read this, I got goosebumps because this reminds me of The Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. And I did some research, and apparently Dostoevsky inspired a lot of philosophical thinkers like Franz Kafka, Haruki Murakami, and Joseph Conrad. These small discoveries bring me so much intellectual joy, it makes me connect all the dots. Another captivating passage I would like to share is the following. I'm disturbing you, he says. I'm lacerating your feelings, not letting anyone in the house sleep. Well, don't sleep. You ought to be experiencing every minute of my toothache. The unnamed narrator exclaims that human beings are loud in their suffering because they want attention. I was challenging this perspective. I tried to be optimistic and thought to myself, is that really true? It's also a very negative way of thinking. I don't think it's a matter of black and white. However, when I hear my partner coughing now, when ill, for example, I just can't help but to think about this passage, and that Dostoevsky has a point. It haunts me, but in a good way. Who is this book for? Firstly, I'd recommend Notes from Underground to readers who enjoy philosophy, psychological literature, themes like existentialism. Secondly, if you're someone who's self-reflective and open on gaining new perspectives in life, I think this book is for you, babes. Notes from Underground became a favorite. I can't wait to reread the book and also to read my annotations, gain more insights, but I also want to focus on the other works by Dostoevsky. There's so much to cover, so many things to learn, so I'll focus on those things first. A brief reflection on The Double. The Double was a very interesting read, at certain times uneasy and anxious because I didn't really know who I could trust anymore in the story, but Dostoevsky intentionally wrote The Double in an ambiguous way, so you're able to crawl in the protagonist's mind. This was really eerie and bizarre, but I also enjoyed this whole experience. An interesting read to read after Notes from Underground. I think both works complement each other, so probably that's the reason why Penguin Classics put these together in this bundle. I'm also in love with the cover. I mean, do you see the faces? And there's another one. So 1, 2, 3, but can you see the fourth? It's here. Whoa. That covers all my thoughts on Notes from Underground for now. If you decide to read Notes from Underground, make sure to leave a comment. I'm really curious what you think of it. My current read is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. And I'm in love. I mean, I just can't with this book. I recommended it to a friend. We're reading it together, and she also had to cry, and we're texting each other, sharing our thoughts and perspectives. But this book literally fills my heart so much. I mean, I annotated a lot, and I'm so sad that I'm almost at the end of it. Once I finish the book, I can't wait to make another video where I discuss my thoughts, perspectives, and feelings of Jane Eyre. Really looking forward to that. And if you already read Jane Eyre, let me know in the comments what you think. If you have any book recommendations or want me to review a specific book, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I want to thank you all for watching. So see you at the next one. Ciao, babes. Mwah.